Hello there. It's very, very hard work to make a film or a scripted TV show. These people actually come into work and work hard as anyone else who work in a shop or do any other kind of grunt's work. It's still hard work to make a movie, but it's hard work to work in a cheese factory. It's hard work to work in a store or a shop or a factory or whatever. Just because it's hard work to make a piece of entertainment doesn't mean you don't have a right, and I don't have a right, to constructively criticize that work. The problem is with this biz, with this industry, with this business, it's glamorized the process of making entertainment. So everyone thinks they don't work hard. They turn up at red carpet events. They get paid a huge amount of money. Why should we feel bad for them? Blah, blah, blah. The human beings like you and me, they have the worries and concerns. Maybe the ones working in the highest profile of the industry don't have any financial worries, but they have other financial worries. I've been re-watching again Superman, the Christopher Reeve story. It shows you someone that we put up on a mountain having real problems and having something devastating happen to them. So people in the industry are as human as you and I, and they bleed like you and I. I'm not trying to defend them. There's two sorts of fans today. There's the ones we call shills who trust them implicitly. How many times have you heard the phrase, I trust James Gunn? I trust James Gunn more than I do Zack Snyder to make a great Superman film. That's not me saying that. I see it in videos. I hear it on social media. I read it on social media all the time. But the majority of people have a lack of trust and faith in new entertainment, in new Hollywood. How can you trust people who told us that the Batman 2 would be released in 2025, in the same year as this Superman movie? Then it was delayed to 2026. Then they delayed it to 2027 by one damn year. So how can you trust these people? Everyone has an opinion on James Gunn, and everyone has an opinion, including moi, on James Gunn making a Superman film. The expectations of this movie are so unrealistically high. But the trailer we saw the other day hasn't lowered those expectations. I didn't know what to make of James Gunn making a movie. I saw a lot of red flags. I wasn't confident. I tell you something, after I saw that trailer, my confidence and expectations levels went higher, higher, and higher. The imagery in the movie looks really good. It looks like it's about something really unique, and he's trying to tell a great Superman story. The irony isn't lost on me that the first scene we see of Superman is him falling to the floor, bleeding, barely being able to breathe, then trapped in this cage, and he's clearly weak in that cage, because unless Superman's weak, you couldn't cage him. Using all his strength, when he's depowered, he punches the glass. That is so Superman. So what we saw hasn't tampered our expectations, it's raised them. I think that's a great trailer. If you didn't like the trailer, that's fine. If you're saying you didn't like the trailer because you have an agenda, then I respect honesty. Can James Gunn make as good a movie as Dick Donner's Superman 78, or better, or worse? Because like it or not, this is the position that James Gunn has put himself in. I've always said it, and I've said it yesterday as well. I expect a good to very good Superman movie from James Gunn. I don't expect this movie to be bad. It's going to be good, because you look at his other CBMs and they've all at least been good to very good, sometimes even great. But this Superman movie must perform financially at the highest of scales, but must also be one of not just the best comic book movies ever made, but one of the best movies ever made. Again, this is the position James Gunn has put himself in. He is feeling the pressure. You would feel the pressure in that position, and I would feel the pressure in that position. No one is putting anyone under more pressure than James Gunn is putting on himself. He's taken this role at DC Studios. He's very well aware of the problems at WB. And, you know, when you work for a studio in a high profile position as he is, there's a lot of politics. You know, it's not just about what James Gunn wants or even what Peter Safran wants. It's what David Zaslav wants. It's what David Zaslav's shareholders at Warner Brothers Discovery want. Right now, the company is in huge debt. Zaslav is under immense pressure. Now, according to James Gunn, Zaslav has kept all his promises. We've spoken about the Batman too. The rumours that either James Gunn, Peter Safran, Zaslav or WB or all of them want to merge Matt Reeves' Batman crime saga with the DCU. That's constantly being denied. James Gunn has admitted that he did consider merging Robert Pattinson's Batman with the DCU, but he says he also wants to keep faith with DC Elseworlds, but he didn't exactly say that one day Rob Pattinson's Batman won't merge with the DCU. So as I said yesterday, there's no smoke without fire. But let's talk about the high expectations of the DCU. From what I'm seeing from videos and reviews of Creature Commandos, it's clearly very good. There's some Easter eggs, there's some hints about the DCU future. I think I can say without watching it that it looks like a successful piece of work. That hasn't burnt down the DCU. When it comes to making things, James Gunn is very good at what he does. He wouldn't be in this position if he wasn't a talented writer-director. He is a talented writer-director. He said he's taken inspiration for his Superman movie via comic books like All-Star Superman, Kingdom Come. He's name-dropped many other graphic novels. He said he's taken inspiration from Superman 8. He's taken influence from Man of Steel. The flying is inspired from Top Gun Maverick. He's name-dropped a lot of things. Then you ask the question, if you're name-dropping all these things, what originality, what are you putting into this movie? Are you just copying a bunch of other movies? No. He's name-dropping things because he knows that's a good way to get audience approval. That's the way it is today. Today's audiences are obsessed with, you know, nostalgia porn, aren't they? And James Gunn is playing that game. But the trailer would say, and it's interesting, isn't it? Because you see the kind of hate Superman gets, like he got in Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice. But you see him weakened on the floor in the Arctic. Something we really haven't seen like that before. We have seen Superman bleeding from the mouth in Man of Steel. So a lot of things in that trailer are things we've seen before, but then we've never seen a Superman movie with so many other DC characters in it, which is interesting as well. So that's a kind of original thing. Now, people are concerned about that because will it take away from Superman's story? I think they're part of the story about Superman that James Gunn is attempting to tell. So as I've said before, I'm not concerned about other DC characters being involved. So seeing that trailer certainly gave me more confidence about this movie. But the expectation levels are so unrealistically high, it's so difficult for James Gunn. And something else I've mentioned before, next year is stacked with some great blockbusters. You know, you've got the Jurassic World movie, you've got Fantastic Four. Now, well away from the release of Superman, you've got the next Avatar movie. That movie's performance will be interesting. Now, you've got to be fair to James Gunn's Superman. It's not a sequel. It's a first movie. it would be unrealistic to expect Superman to perform as high in terms of the global box office as the next Avatar movie or even Jurassic World. But you would expect it to compete with Fantastic Four, which basically is an original film and really is resetting the MCU. The MCU is not in a strong position, but nor is DC live action. But, there's some people out there that have confidence in James Gunn. And clearly from the trailer views, people are interested in this Superman movie. And before we got those views, I wasn't sure if there was enough interest in James Gunn's Superman movie. So it's pretty clear that people are interested in going to see this film. It doesn't mean they think it's going to be great, because we simply don't know that. But seeing that trailer wouldn't have tempered people's expectations, because the trailer, as I say, from my point of view, in my opinion, is good to great. There are some great Superman sequences. Dick Donner and Zack Snyder photographed Superman so beautifully. And from this first trailer, it looks like James Gunn has also photographed Superman beautifully. I especially, as I said, love the moment when he punches the glass. I think that's a great kind of graphic novel, DC Comics, Superman Comics graphic novel moment. And I love it. So from that trailer, you kind of get that he has some kind of understanding. So I think it's going to be Superman's greatest hits with a little bit of an original take from James Gunn. So the trailer has given me more confidence that I can go and see a great Superman movie. I expect the least amount of money this movie will make will be from 400 to 500 million. That's the worst case scenario. I don't think it will be any lower if people don't like the movie. But the best case scenario could be huge. With those trailer views, the potential is limitless. But James Gunn is walking the tightrope here. He's walking the tightrope. Every time he says something that people don't like, he's damaging the box office capacity and potential of this Superman movie. The delays of the Batman 2, the rumours that they want to merge Reeves' Batman universe crime saga with the DCU is utterly damaging. When you don't see any development on Brave and the Bold, it's utterly damaging because it shows inconsistency. It shows people who claim to have a plan who don't have a plan. When you announce a string of movies as a slate and call it Gods and Monsters Part 1, people expect some activity on that stuff. We know that Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow will start shooting next year, in the new year very soon, the beginning of the new year. So that is very exciting, and I'm expecting this Supergirl movie to be something hugely special. It may even be a better movie than Superman. That'll be interesting as well, but we'll see. But that's exciting. We're getting the Lanterns streaming show. I'm not happy that the first kind of sight of the Lanterns in the DCU is a streaming show rather than an epic, expensive movie. But we'll have to wait and see to see what that show is going to be. So interesting. So there is movement, but there's no movement on Brave and the Bold. So situations like that do damage the box office capacity for Superman. Because with all these leaks coming out constantly about what's going on with the Batman 2, is Pattinson going to be the DCU Batman? I said this yesterday, I've said this many times, and I'll predict it to you. I'll put my hand on my heart and say to you, I believe that we will get a Batman cameo in the Superman movie. And I will keep on saying that. He's denied it. Of course he's going to deny it. He don't want to ruin the surprise. Batman will be in that Superman movie. And don't be surprised, I think he's denied Lobo being in the Superman movie. I think Lobo will show up as well. Will it be Jason Momoa? Well, that's what we were hinted, what we were told. We've heard rumours about that. I don't know. But Lobo, done right, can be a really brilliant character cinematically. What do you think? I'll be back tomorrow.